computer. I'm going to share. I'm just going to write into this letter. I think we're on decision 3. You guys should be able to see that, right? Perfect. So let's go over this one. This is, again, all these letters are awesome. Each letter has its own message that's, in my opinion, very powerful. And then there's a lot of little sub points, messages that are within the letter that I like to break down as we go through it. So let's continue with this one. Decision 3, the active decision. I am a person of action. Beginning today, I will create a new future by creating a new me. No longer will I dwell in a pit of despair, moaning over squandered time and lost opportunity. I can do nothing about the past. My future is immediate. I will grasp it in both hands and carry it with running feet. When I am faced with a choice of doing nothing or doing something, I will always choose to act. I seize the moment. I choose now. I am a person of action. I am energetic. I move quickly. Knowing that laziness is a sin, I will create a habit of lively behavior. I will walk with a spring in my step and a smile on my face. The lifeblood rushing through my veins is urging me upward and forward into activity and accomplishment. Wealth and prosperity hide from the sluggard, but rich rewards come to the person who moves quickly. I am a person of action. I inspire others with my activity. I am a leader. Leading is doing. To lead, I must move forward. Many people move out of the way for a person on the run. Others are caught up in his wake. My activity will create a wave of success for the people who follow. My activity will be consistent. This will instill confidence in my leadership. As a leader, I have the ability to encourage and inspire others to greatness. It is true. An army of sheep led by a lion would defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. I'm a person of action. I can make a decision. I can make it now. I'm a person who moves. A person who moves neither left nor right is destined for mediocrity. When faced with a decision, many people say they are waiting for God. But I understand in most cases, God is waiting for me. He has given me a healthy mind to gather and sort information and the courage to come to a conclusion. I am not a quivering dog, indecisive and fearful. My constitution is strong and my pathway clear. Successful people make their decisions quickly and change their mind slowly. Failures make their decisions slowly and change their mind quickly. My decisions come quickly and they lead me to victory. I'm a person of action. I am daring. I am courageous. Fear no longer has a place in my life. For too long, fear has outweighed my desire to make things better for my family. Never again. I have exposed fear as a vapor, an imposter who never had any power over me in the first place. I do not fear opinion, gossip, or the idle chatter of monkeys, for they are all the same to me. I do not fear failure, for in my life, failure is a myth. Failure only exists for the person who quits. I do not quit. I am courageous. I am a leader. I seize the moment. I choose now. I am a person of action. Yeah. These letters, bro. I'm
Oh,
telling
it's so beautiful.
you.
Uh, Poem or whatever it is.
Well, it's a letter, like just literally a letter written to the main to the main character of this book by a specific uh historical figure. I don't know who this one is. I am a person of action. I'm not sure. I know he meets Abe Lincoln. I'm not sure if this is Abe Lincoln, but anyways, no, these are powerful, man, and there's so much information in these things, and then the imagery that they use as well. Very well written. But right here it says, in the beginning today, I will create a new future by creating a new me. No longer will I dwell in the pit of despair, moaning in squandered time and lost opportunity. I can do nothing about the past. My future is immediate. I will grasp it with both hands and carry it running feet. When I am faced with a choice of doing nothing or doing something, I will always choose to act. I seize the moment. I choose now. Um, yeah, you can't change your past, right? But you can definitely change your future. And the future is immediate because everything you're doing at this moment is affecting your future, right? everything you do in the very moment affects your future and is creating your future. So what you do or fail to do will produce the results or lack of results in your future, depending on what you do in this moment. And so that's why it's very important to be aware of the moment, right? We're many times just caught up either in the past because we're thinking about the shit in the past. Usually we're not, when we think about the past, we're not thinking about all the great things that we've accomplished. Most of the time we're worried, we're thinking about all the shit that happened to us, right? And we're afraid that it's going to happen again. And then by no surprise, you repeat the past. Have you seen people who are they're just stuck in this like cycle of constant, constant challenge, but it's the same challenge. It's just it's about money. It's about money. It's about or it's their health, or the bad relationship, it's repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. They're caught up in the past. It's a very obvious pattern to identify when you see somebody who's continuously struggling with the same challenges over and over and over again, year after year. It's sad because you're literally stuck because you're stuck in the past, and it repeats the past in the future. It may not be the exact same events, but very similar events. It has to do with money, or it has to do with their health, or it has to do with their finances, right? And it's just like, and you're like, damn, bro, like when are you gonna catch a break? Or they'll catch a break once they start taking control of their thoughts and stop dwelling on the past and focus on what they can do for their future and improve on that. That's the only way to break out of that cycle. And we're all guilty of it. I've been caught in the cycle. I'm sure we all have. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Everything that we talk about here isn't like, you know, the most profound new information. No, this is just me reminding you of the shit that you guys already know, right? As we continue on here, I'm a person of action. I'm energetic. I move quickly. Knowing that laziness is a sin, I will create a habit of lively behavior. I will walk with a spring in my step and a smile on my face. The lifeblood rushing through my veins is urging me upward and forward into activity and accomplishment. Wealth and prosperity hide from the sluggard, but rich rewards come to the person who moves quickly. Dude, yeah, you got to be taking action. Laziness, you'll never accomplish anything by doing nothing. I mean, look at the people who watch 4, 5, 6 hours of television per day. They don't do anything. They work a job, they get home, they eat, they watch TV, they go to sleep, wake up, repeat, and it's just a very sad thing to see. And this is most people, by the way, and I'm guilty. I was caught up in it as well. And to break out of that, it requires you to stop being lazy and just start creating out there, just going out there and taking action, right? Obviously being inspired by some type of goal, but you really taking control of your future and molding it into what it is that you really want for yourself and for your family, right? And it won't come to you if you're slow or sluggard and lazy, and it won't come to you. You need to take the action, and you see it. You see the people who work extremely hard, build empires, but they worked their asses off. It wasn't anything easy. It was difficult. It was challenging. But at no point were they lazy. At no point were they sluggard. They were always working at and towards their goals and working on themselves and developing themselves and learning new skills and everything they needed to do to create that empire, right? And it's capable. We're all capable of doing this. It's just a matter of how committed we are, right? The next one here, I'm a person of action. I inspire others with my activity. I am a leader. Leading is doing. To lead, I must move forward. Many people move out of the way for a person on the run. Others are caught up in his wake. My activity will create a wave of success for the people who follow. My activity will be consistent. This will instill confidence in my leadership. As a leader, I have the ability to encourage and inspire others to greatness. And that is true. Leaders can really inspire. Leaders know how to speak. Leaders know how to present themselves. Leaders know. Now, a leader doesn't know all the answers. That's a false truth that a lot of people believe. Well, the leader should have all the answers. No, that's not how it works. Well, as a leader, the leader's followers should serve the leader. That's not true either. The leader should be serving their followers, should serving their soldiers, serving their people and helping them. That's what a leader should be doing. And as a leader moves towards success, they'll take the whole group with them, because they get caught up in their wake of success. But this last sentence, man, this is a badass sentence. I love this sentence. An army of sheep led by a lion would defeat an army of lions led by a sheep. This is how important a leader is. Okay, that's how important a leader is. Again, I talked about how the leaders kind of set the tone, right? How as parents, when something happens to the child, they usually look towards a parent to see how they're supposed to react. You see this all the time. And depending on how the parent reacts, the child will react accordingly, right? A simple example is if a child falls. If they didn't hurt themselves, it's kind of shocking that they fell, but they caught themselves, right? They're laying there and they look up at the parent, and it's every time. And if the parent is calm, they're calm. But if the parent freaks out, they start crying, right? And dude, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. We see this shit all the time, right? That's exactly how it is with leadership. If you're in a position of leadership and shit hits the fan and you freak out, you know what you did? You gave your entire company, platoon, or group of people who are following you, you gave all of them the right to freak out as well. Now you have a bunch of people freaking out because their leader's freaking out. But if the leader keeps their composure when shit hits the fan, and the followers, the soldiers, whoever see that composure within their leader, you'll see that the followers are calm and they're relaxed. Because if their leader is calm, that means that the leader has a plan, even though they may not have a plan, right? They may be freaking out in their head, but at the very least, you want to be calm in front of your group of people because you need them calm. They're more effective when they're calm. You're more effective when you're calm. You're not effective when you're freaking out and tripping out on what's happening in your life and angry, upset, whatever, right? You can't be as efficient and productive when your mind is just all over the place, when your emotions are taking over. You need to be calm and analytical and really analyze the situation to find the solution that you need for whatever problems you're facing, right? For whatever shit hit the fan, right? And so this is very important, okay, for leadership. And this is something I really want you guys to understand. Like, your composure is everything with leadership. As a parent, same thing, by the way. Your kids are looking at you to see, hey, should I freak out or are we good? Because they don't know. And it may be the situation where you don't know if you're good or not, but you still keep that composure. Like I said, you don't want a house full of people freaking the fuck out over something, right? Because there's no way you can really control that. It's more difficult to. But when they're calm and they feel like there's potential that there's a solution somewhere, that's when they can really be more efficient for you and more effective for you, okay? And you for yourself and for your family or for whoever you're leading. I'm a person of action. I make a decision and I make it now. A person who moves neither left nor right is destined for mediocrity. When faced with the decision, many people say they're waiting for God, but I understand that in most cases, God is waiting for me. He has given me a healthy mind to gather and sort information and the courage to come to a conclusion. Whew, man. Look, all of you guys have tested yourselves when it comes down to facing challenges. You guys know what you got to do. It's very simple when you face challenges, and we face challenges all the time. First things first is you figure out what is the problem really, And I can give a couple of examples. With us, Kia and I have a listing. We hit a couple of issues with the inspection, right? Cool, no problem. We have a problem. What's the solution? Well, the first part is let's go ahead and contact professionals to come and look at the problems with the property so they can give us their professional opinion, because the inspector is just an inspector. Their opinion doesn't doesn't hold weight, especially when you compare it to like a professional, a licensed individual, like a licensed plumber or a contractor, right? And so cool, that was a step right there. That was the problem. We found a solution. They checked it out. They gave us what the issue is, how much it'll cost. We negotiated that, figured it out, and we continued on. And every time we hit a bump, that's all we do. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, cool. Now what's the solution? That's all you got to do, really. You don't have to necessarily freak out. Now, there's going to be some cases where the answer isn't obvious. You're not too sure what to do, but you still have to make a decision. Okay, and you're better off making the decision than waiting on God to figure things out for you, right? Because again, God put in us the ability to make decisions, and that's a part of our challenge here, is like to be able to make decisions and stick with these decisions, right? Not change them all the time, because that'll never lead you to success. You have to really just stick with the decision. I remember a story that Tony Robbins says about this lieutenant. He was an assistant to a general in the military. I forgot which branch. I think it was the army. But anyways, the general of the army basically had to make a decision on where to put the new headquarters, right? And he tasked out his assistant, lieutenant, to do all the research. And this is like bundles and bundles of information, right? And the lieutenant was just going through a bunch of information. And so eventually the lieutenant had to brief the general. So even though there was like tons of information that might have taken hours and hours and hours, he briefed the general for 15 minutes on the information that he found. And the general said, okay, we're going to build here. And that was it. Just like that, he made the decision. The lieutenant eventually asked him, hey, I just had a question. He's like, cool, what's your question? It's like, how were you able to make that decision? I mean, you didn't even go over even a fraction of the information when it came down to deciding where we should put our new headquarters, and you just made the decision like it was just with a 15-minute brief. And he looked at him and he said, look, nobody knows what the right decision is with this. There's just too much data, too much information to go over to really decide what the best where the best location would be for our headquarters. So by making the decision, whether I know it's right or wrong, that's going to allow us to find out if it's the right decision or not a lot faster than going over all that information. So we're going to stick with this decision. And if it's the right one, great, we'll stick with it. And if it's the wrong one, then we'll find out faster and we'll switch it. And that's how you make decisions. You just have to follow your gut sometimes. Yeah, the information is important, all that stuff, but sometimes, dude, you just don't know what the fuck right decision is. It's just, but you have to make one, because if you don't make one, you're just in standstill. You're not going anywhere, right? It says it right here. A person who moves neither left nor right is destined for mediocrity, right? You have to continuously make decisions, whether you know what the right decision is or not, because you're not always going to know what the right decision is. And it's kind of scary, but I mean, when you're in that position where you're the leader, dude, you got to make the decision. You got to choose something. And you have to be okay with making mistakes. And you have to be okay with that, because you're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable. You're not perfect, right? We all make mistakes. This is right here. I am not a quivering dog, indecisive and fearful. My constitution is strong and my pathway clear. Successful people make their decisions quickly and change their minds slowly. Failures make their decisions slowly and change their minds quickly. My decisions come quickly and they lead me to victory. That's a big that when I read that the first time, it really blew me away, because I was like, man, is that really true? It's like I mean, like, should you really make your decisions that quickly? Should you not take your time? I mean, I believe that now. Back then, I don't think I did, and it's because that the time itself, time is of essence, time is important, time is scarce. So again, you can many times find out if it's the right decision or not by just making a decision and just going with it. Like with the example that I gave you with the general. I'm a person of action. I am daring. I'm courageous. Fear no longer has a place in my life. For too long, fear has outweighed my desire to make things better for my family. Never again. I have exposed fear as a vapor, an impostor who never had any power over me in the first place. I do not fear opinion, gossip, or the idle chatter of monkeys, for they're all the same to me. I do not fear failure, for in my life, failure is a myth. Failure only exists for the person who quits. I do not quit. Exactly. Don't quit. Like, you quit, all that work and everything you put into it, it's done. It gets you nothing. Now, I'm really proud of all of you who have been sticking with it. You know, all you guys have been sticking with real estate, and you guys have been working it. You know, even though you might not have gotten the success you wanted initially, you're still going with it. And the fact that you are is going to lead you to success. By the way, you know, you just have to keep working it. It's called perseverance. You know, you persevere, you will succeed, because you're just going to keep going until you succeed. It's just like, you know, you're just quitting isn't an option for you. You're going to make it happen, or you're going to make it happen. And that's it. Those are the only two options. It's like when a child is trying to walk, right? And they continue to fall, and then stand up and fall, and then take a couple of steps and fall. And the child, at no point does the child ever think about quitting. At no point. They're going to keep on trying to walk until they start walking. And that's how we have to pursue our goals and our dreams. Okay. Not just quit the second it gets challenging and tough, because that's how most people do it. For some reason, they have this misconception that building a business should be easy, that becoming a millionaire should be easy, that having a successful, happy, fulfilling life should be something that's easy. Now, initially it isn't. And the reason it isn't is because we have beliefs within our subconscious that limit us. And that's where the challenges really come, by the way. And then the fact that you need to learn new skills, you need to learn new information to really be successful in whatever endeavor you choose to follow. That takes time and effort and energy, and a lot of people they're not willing to do that. And then the second it gets hard, they quit. Like, well, this is not meant to be. Well, no, you can make it happen. You can create anything you want in your life. You can accomplish anything you like to accomplish. But the second you quit, you can't accomplish it, right? And if you're quitting because it's hard, well, man, the next endeavor, you're going to face challenges as well. And so you're probably going to quit that too. And then the one you follow after that one, you're going to eventually hit challenges as well. And you're probably going to quit that too. No matter what it is that you choose to follow, you will face challenges. And you have to understand, it's just a part of the equation. It's a part of the equation of success. Challenges are necessary. Okay, there are opportunities for you to grow and to expand yourself. This is how you're tested in our realm. You're tested by facing challenges. Okay. So, you guys have anything you want to add to this one, or any comments for with this letter? Even though, other than the fact that it's awesome.
It's just awesome shit. Keep going.
Yeah, man.
We got an audience today.
Yeah, we all need this, you know. We all need this. Let me go ahead and stop recording on this one.